All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Baby Shack, and I'm here to help you become profitable. Just a quick rundown of today. This was going to be kind of like a live trading session, but Topstep essentially is down again. I'm not taking any trades on this account because I know that their system is down. I went to the website, which is right here, but it has some information in it and I don't want to go to it, but just trust me, Topstep is down right now. But today I was looking for essentially some sells as well as buys. Right now, we're bearish on the 4-hour time frame, and we could still push to the downside. This is my 4-hour high. This is my 4-hour low, and we have this huge 4-hour imbalance right here. That we could be tapping into and then heading back to the downside, making a new 4-hour lower low. And you can see we've been in a 4-hour downtrend, and the expectation honestly is that this trend could continue, but we are within a daily order block. So I expect constant resistance on the way down into this daily order block, trying to push us back to the upside. Now, if we look at the 4-hour time frame, which we're already on, you can see we've created a 4-hour imbalance, a bullish imbalance. So we have this 4-hour bearish imbalance telling us that sellers are strong in this area, and we have a 4-hour bullish imbalance telling us that buyers are fairly strong right now as well. If we go to forexfactory.com, let me turn this off real quick. MNQ is higher. If we go to forexfactory.com, you can see that there was news, and I've been doing my best to understand the news better, so I can take better trades, essentially dealing with, what is it called? I think the macroeconomics, or just the fundamental analysis, not just the technical analysis. Technical analysis is what you see me doing right now on the chart, only looking at the numbers and things like that, and the prices going up and down. But fundamental analysis is knowing about the news. So there was CPI, unemployment claims, and Philly Federal Manufacturing Index. I'm not sure what that one is, but unemployment claims obviously is how many people are employed or unemployed. The previous was 237, and it went up. No, it actually went down to 224,000, which should be good for the currency, the U.S. currency. So boom, that's good for the U.S. currency, aka the stock market, as far as I know. And then CPI, you can see the forecast was 3.1%. The previous was 3%, and right now we're at 2.7%. And this is good for currency if it's greater. So actual greater than forecast is good for currency. Basically, this says consumer prices account for a majority of overall inflation. Inflation is important to currency valuation because rising prices lead to central banks raising the interest rates out of the respect for inflation containment. So what I got from this is that the inflation went from 3.1% down to 2.7%. So I think that means that is a good thing for the currency, that inflation went down. So what I'm seeing is that we're going to have potentially a continuation to the upside. So I'm expecting maybe a reaction out of here, or just a continuation to the upside from here. Now, I could be wrong about the news. I'm still trying to figure out how to read it. But yeah, let me Google real quick. 3.1% to 2.7% for CPI. Is that a increase or decrease in inflation? I'm pretty sure that means that's a decrease in inflation. The change from a 3.1% annual rate for the consumer price index to a 2.7% rate is a decrease in inflation. Okay, so yeah, that should be a good thing. And is that good for the stock market? Let's see. Let's see. A decrease in the consumer price in it. Decrease in inflation. The CPI measures the average change over time in the prices paid by urban. I just want to know if it's good. A drop means that prices are still rising over year, but at a slower pace than before. This is referred to as disinflation or cooling inflation. The market generally views such a cool down positively, especially if it's below expectations. Okay, so that's what I thought. The expectations or the forecast was a 3.1%, and the actual was a 2.7%, which seems like a pretty big difference. So I was right. I expect basically a buying market either for today or within the next week or two. So let's look at analysts, the analysis. We were in, well, let's go to the weekly time frame first. If you are not new to the channel by now, you should know my analysis on basically the S&P. So we have this small weekly imbalance right here. Imbalance basically shows strength in price. That's why we account for it. And you can see we made a, let me go right here. We made a high. Right? Yeah, high, low, higher high. Okay, this is a little off. This should be a higher high. At least I know it is on this. So that's interesting. So yeah, we made a high, low, higher, higher low, and then a small higher high up here. So this is the weekly order block that we are now sitting in. And I'm expecting a continuation at some point to the upside on the S&P 500. Now, we got a 4-hour imbalance that was created to the downside right here. And then we also have this 4-hour imbalance right here. So there's selling pressure inside of this zone, and there's buying pressure inside of this zone. So we may get a reaction down from here, but we may get a reaction up from here. So really, it just depends on what is going to happen next. I'm trying to look and see if we have any SMTs. We do not right now. Right now, we had this 5-minute break of structure to the downside, as you can see here. But we also have this 5-minute imbalance as well as this 5-minute imbalance that is most likely going to push us above this, creating a new 5-minute high. And then from there, we can maybe expect a continuation up for a little while longer. But like I said, we are in that 4-hour imbalance right now. So I'm expecting, this is the 3-hour time frame, close to the same thing as the 4-hour. There is a lot of selling pressure inside of this area. So as we move up through this area, we could just see selling pressure throughout and then end up breaking the high, or we could just get a strong reaction that's going to push us down to that 4-hour bullish imbalance, and then we'll see what price really wants to do. Once again, like I said, Topstep is down at the moment. I was definitely looking forward to trading it today. It's down for the 3rd day in a row. I think I told you guys before, I will be looking for another prop firm, December and January, because going down for so many days in a row, especially on important days like this, is pretty nerve-wracking. You can see the balance on all these accounts are pretty decent. Of course, not this one. This one's negative, but I could have had it probably back to break even by now. But we've had so many days where I can't even trade. I couldn't trade all week this week, pretty much because of the issues they have been having. But you can see the balances are very good. 52.1, 52.4 still. And then I have these two running together. This is 51 and this is 51.4. So today would have been a good day to trade for sure, but what can you do? Nothing you can do but complain or switch prop firms. So I'll be looking at different prop firms and trying to figure out which one I want to go with in the future. And then for these accounts, I'm just going to try to pass them. That way they're express accounts, and then I won't have to pay a monthly subscription for them any longer. And then I'll just start looking for another prop firm to excuse me, another prop firm to tackle, take over, etc. So that is where we are at. Like I said, right now, the 5 minute is bearish, so we could get a lower low on the 5 minute, but there is a lot of buying pressure inside of here that could just take us to a new 5 minute higher high. But if we are following structure, we should just be looking for sales off of the 1 minute time frame, and this would be the setup right here for that 1 minute sell back at least into here, which would give you a 1.2 R, which is pretty good. You can see though, we have a lot of highs now resting right here, and that could be sometimes a red flag, because now that's a lot of liquidity that price may want to target, as well as you have this high sitting right above it. So 5 minute is bearish. We could just continue down and take this low, but we do have a lot of buying pressure inside of this area down here, like I said, with the 5 minute imbalance. Two imbalances that we could see a reaction from to then continue up higher. So we should be getting a reaction out of here. Now, a reaction does not mean we're going to break the high. And also, once again, 5 minute is technically bearish for me, so we should be technically making a lower low. So this would have been the 1 minute setup, the break of this trend line right here, to then have price continue to the downside. And we may continue all the way down to this 4 hour imbalance. Oops. And this would have been a beautiful 6.6 R trade. And honestly, it looks like it's going to work out, because you can see the momentum now kicking in on this 1 minute time frame. And what I mean by momentum is you can just see how strong the bearish candles are coming in now. And that's just telling you that we're seeking liquidity. We're seeking liquidity. And I have the liquidity marked off already that I think we're going to target, which is inside that 4 hour imbalance. Right inside of here. That's where the most liquidity is for me. Right in this area. And I didn't mark it off here. I marked it off on, I think, either the S&P or NAS, which they're correlating. So here it is, right here. So this is the where most of the liquidity is, at least for the day, that we could be targeting. So it's pretty much the same setup for NAS. We have a 5 minute break of structure to the downside. Really, you could say this is maybe a 10 minute. Let me try the 10 minute and see if that, yeah, the 10 minute for this one. And then you can go down to like the 2 minute, even the 1 minute, and look for the same entry. So for this one, let me see. There's no necessarily good entry on here. Kind of a similar entry, just like a break of a trend line. Getting in off that break, stop loss, near the highs, targeting something down here. So we did, like I said, have a 5 minute imbalance inside of this area on the S&P, but we are not really getting a reaction inside of this area. So we could just continue to push through. And yeah, that is probably all for this video today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys on the next episode. Hopefully You know, January Topstep is not acting up. It sucks. Like, this is the last week I'll probably want to trade because, you know, it's December. The price action's only going to get worse. So, other than that, I'll catch you guys on the next episode. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Check the description where you can see where I teach one-on-one as well as in a group. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.